Hi everybody, I'm meteorologist Roland Stedham, and joining me now in studio live is Ron Abramovich, and this is a very popular man this time of the year. He is the USDA water supply specialist assigned to the state of Idaho. Thank you for joining us today, Ron.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the issues that we're seeing, and I've got to be honest with you, I'm a little concerned about the setup that we're seeing as we start getting closer to the spring months. And I'm getting calls on almost a daily basis with viewers. I had a call today from a gentleman in West Boise. He said, "This is nuts. I can't get a break, and there's so much snow on my roof, so much snow on my yard. I'm very concerned." Do people have the right to be concerned with this kind of a scenario we're seeing?
Oh yes, this is a very unique year. Usually when it snows in Boise here, it'll be on the ground for a few days, then it warms up and melts, and then it'll snow again. But this year we've had those cold temperatures that keep that snowpack frozen on the ground, and it's causing a lot of concerns for shoveling and roof snow loads as well too.
Yeah, every day that goes by, now we're here approaching the end of January, and I keep saying I'm getting concerned because the window of opportunity for that safe snow melt, that controlled snow melt to occur, keeps getting narrower and narrower. In other words, each day that goes by and our temperatures are below freezing, and then we add another storm on top of that, the window of opportunity to get rid of that groundwater that we have stored on the valley floor keeps getting smaller and smaller.
It does, so we're going to need a break in the weather. We just had one now, but we've had the cold temperatures still below 32 degrees, so we didn't lose a whole lot.
Okay, I want to show you some of the snowpack levels that we have around the state right now, and I'd like you to explain one thing to me. As we look at these numbers, the Owyhee Basin way above normal, Bruno Basin way above normal, Payette Basin 104% above normal. Then all of a sudden we get to the Weiser Basin, 89% of normal. I think anybody in Weiser right now will tell you you're nuts. We're not below normal as far as snowpack is concerned. We have more snow than we know what to do with. What would you say to that?
Well, they're right. We got a measurement in Weiser. It was 25 inches of snow depth on the ground with 7 inches of water that's just waiting to melt. What you have to keep in mind, our snow measuring sites are typically above 5,000 feet in the mounds.
Okay.
That provides our annual stream flow for growing our crops and filling our reservoirs. So that's where most of our sites are versus this year, all that snow is down low in the valley.
And it's down low. You gave a number today at the water usage conference that you said something along the lines of how much snow do we have? What's the snowpack?
It's about
average?
In Weiser, they have 25 inches on the ground.
Yeah, but percent of normal. What's the percent of normal in the valleys?
In the valleys, well... You
said something along the lines of 400%.
Oh, so the few sites we have in the Weiser that are just around 4,000 or 5,000 feet, you're right, they're 400% of normal on January 1, plus we've got all the snow since then.
That's amazing.
So it's even more.
400% of normal, that's a little concerning. Let me show you now, folks, what I want to take Ron through is I'm talking about the potential for these storms to become hyperactive again. I want to show you, these are raw computer models that we utilize in the forecast community, and what you're looking at here is a lot of squiggles, but look for the brown lines, and Idaho is smack dab in the middle there. What you're seeing is the return of the moisture influx that we're seeing coming in around next Wednesday. Here's what the computer models are showing happens with the atmosphere on Thursday. Again, Idaho is smack dab in the middle of that screen right there. That's a lot of water, Ron. That's next Thursday. Here's what the GFS model is indicating for next Friday. What do you see there?
There's, looks like another atmospheric river event, basically.
Another atmospheric river event. And if we go back to that graphic very quickly, I just want to show you folks what happens. This is a week from Monday. Look at what that shows right there, and what that shows is an extremely active pattern. And then as a result, here's the other issue right here. Here's what the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook is put out by the Climate Prediction Center. And what we're seeing is wetter than normal conditions for Idaho. Not only wetter than normal conditions for Idaho, but colder than normal conditions for Idaho.
Colder. So that's going to be the key right there, whether or not all that moisture falls as snow or rain. What we saw in January was the key temperature was 32 degrees.
Okay.
And so if we get rain on top of the snowpack we have now, we could have a rapid melt. So I'd rather have that moisture fall as snow and gradually melt later in the month of February and into early March.
Okay.
Because if you go back and remember the New Year's Day 1997 event, it encompassed the whole Pacific Northwest, where Moores Creek's Summit Snowtail site received 18 inches of precipitation in 15 days, and then it changed to rain. So that closed the whole Pacific Northwest down. We don't want that to happen again.
No, we don't. But if history has shown that if these things have happened in the past, they can happen in the future. The goal is not to frighten anybody. The goal is just to increase awareness, to make sure that you have the opportunity to do everything that you possibly can. Clear your drains, clear your gutters, take the opportunity to just make sure that your neighborhood is clear and it has a way for the water to go at this point while we have this mini dry spell.
That's right. The water's going to run someplace when it melts. Okay. So try to have it run down the gutters, keep those drains open, help your neighbors out, get the snow off the eaves of the roof if you can't get it off the whole roof. All right. And pay attention to the temperatures and what's happening outside. Absolutely.
Ron Abramovich, thank you very much so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time. Folks, let's go ahead and talk about the weather here with the forecast that we're seeing here in the Treasure Valley. What's going to happen is this. We're seeing a lot of clouds moving in across the region right now. Time-lapse video showing those clouds streaming in across much of Idaho, and that is associated with that northwesterly flow, again, that brought some of those scattered snow showers, but almost all of that is going away. And what's happening right now is that high pressure is going to be taking over. And with the high pressure in place here over the next few days, that is going to be acting as a blocking mechanism to keep these storms that are out here in the Pacific Ocean from working their way into the Gem State. But this is what the computer models were showing. I just shared with you the raw model data, and that is that the possibility of a stormy pattern returns around the middle of next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Treasure Valley, because this is the way things are going to be shaping up. We keep it on the dry side through Sunday, and then on Monday, it's still going to be very cold, but then increasing clouds on Tuesday. And based on all that model data we're seeing right now, it looks like we're going to be seeing a return of the showers around Wednesday. Could be rain or snow. Too early to call, too early to pinpoint, but the pattern stays active going through the end of next week. And the mountains are going to be seeing mostly sunny skies here through Sunday, with increasing clouds expected late Monday. Maybe some snow late Tuesday, and it looks like snow expected for the mountains on Wednesday and Thursday. So if you thought that we've had above average normal precipitation in the valley, you're absolutely correct. In Weiser, 400% of normal, which is 4 times the normal snowpack for one community, and that pretty much stretches out throughout much of the Treasure Valley as well.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while. You told me as a skier, be careful what you wish for. I remember you said that months ago. Yeah.
La Nina.
Yeah, La Nina.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ron.